The member for Hunter.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. Wines, mines and equines. These are three great industries that I'm proud to have in my electorate, the Hunter. Today I rise to speak about the wine industry and in particular what an important industry it is, Mr Speaker. First off, almost 4,000 people are directly or indirectly employed by the wine industry in the Hunter. That's roughly 5% of all working people. There are all sorts of jobs tied to this industry, jobs for those who grow grapes, jobs for those who make wine itself, waiting tables at wineries, providing tastings, providing accommodation for visitors, so many jobs. Deputy Speaker, there are over 1,800 visitor economy businesses registered in the Hunter, and many hundreds of these employ the thousands of workers in the wine industry. They are viticulture, winemaking, cellar door, restaurant, accommodation and tourist attraction businesses. One of the things that is very special about the workers in this industry is that they are people of a wide range of ages, with both young and old workers involved in the process of making wine. This is an industry where knowledge is being transferred from the older generations down to the younger generations. And Deputy Speaker, knowledge has been passed down like this for a very long time. In fact, there's nowhere else in Australia where wine has been made longer than in the Hunter. We have been making wine in the Hunter for almost 200 years. We are the oldest wine region in Australia. Now, Deputy Speaker, those South Australians make a lot of claims when it comes to wine, all of which I strongly disagree with, but they can never claim that they were the wine region of South Australia's are the oldest. Our more prestigious than the Hunter Valley. Sorry, all more prestigious than the Hunter Valley. We also have a heritage plant stocks of international significance, such as Shiraz from 1867, Semillon from 1899 and Chardonnay from 1908. This is one of the oldest Chardonnay vineyards in the world. Today, the wine industry has grown into an economic powerhouse, generating over $641 million in economic value to the Hunter Valley annually. The Hunter Valley's vineyards have also grown in landmass, making up 2,376,000 hectares of vineyards. 2,376,000 hectares. We are now known as wine country for a good reason, because this is bigger than some of the countries around the world. Our vineyards are almost 10 times the size of the Vatican City and Monaco put together. Speaker, the numbers are mind-blowing. They provide over 6,000 tonnes of grapes grown by 155 grape growers, which are crushed into wine at over 150 wineries and winemaking enterprises. Deputy Speaker, we produce a fifth of Australia's Chardonnay and a whopping quarter of Australia's Shiraz. If you're drinking some wine from the Hunter Valley and think to yourself, far out, this is good, there has to be something special about this, well, there is. Not only are the wines made in the beautiful Hunter Valley, but the amazing, knowledgeable people of the Hunter, but the soils of which the grapes are grown were finely and perfectly developed over millions of years to make them ideal for viticulture. Underneath the stunning grapevines lies red rocks with bits of shell and other fossils embedded into them. These rocks are known as bryozoan, and vineyards all around the Hunter are littered with them. And Speaker, this doesn't just happen overnight. This is a process that occurred over the last 280 million years, way back when the Hunter Valley was covered by seas, seas in the form of a huge gulf. Over the time, the gulf was filled up with materials washed from surrounding areas and it became a swampy vegetation. The soil itself is some of the rarest in the world. It's known as the terra rossa, or red earth, which is clay over limestone. This forms when carbonate materials leach out of the limestone, breaking into iron deposits, oxidising and turning the soil into a rustic red colour. Speaker, this is a complex process that took time to occur. Limestone helps to grow vines that are balanced, and this is why it is highly prized amongst wine growers. The very best soils for vineyards in the world have limestone, just like at Burgundy in France, even the Coonawarra, but very few have the combination of limestone and ancient fossils lying on prehistoric ocean floor. Deputy Speaker, nowhere can quite compete with the Hunter Valley when you talk about the best place in the world to grow wine. Clearly, it's no fluke that the Hunter Valley has been the best wine in the world, and no one will ever take the title for at least the next couple of 100 million years, because that's how long it takes to make this good wine. In fact, last week, one of Hunter Valley's best-known winemakers, Bruce Tyrrell from Tyrrell's Vineyards, took home the prestigious National Wine Show of Australia Award for the best Semillon in Australia with the 2019 Pacolban Hills Semillon. Our excellent product has turned the Hunter into one of the most visited wine destinations in Australia. For over 1.6 million overnight visitors annually and over 1 million additional day-tripping tourists each year, we provide some of the most delicious wines in the world. I'm convinced, Deputy Speaker, that this is one of the greatest wine-growing areas in the world. And Deputy Speaker, that's why people from overseas are buying wine from the Hunter. Each year, over 230,000 litres of wine is exported from the Hunter, heading towards destinations like the UK, Japan, France and the United States. 70% of Australia's wine exported at wholesale price of less than $5 a bottle, but the average wholesale price per litre for exported Hunter wine is $32.60. Our wine is delicious and something special. The world knows it, and that's why it's reflected in these prices. I'm proud of this industry because of its resilience in the industry. In 2019 and 20, summer bushfires had a devastating impact on the vineyards. Just 4 years ago, these bushfires hit the Hunter hard. A total of 4,095 square kilometres were burnt by bushfire, representing 19% of the Hunter functional economic region. 144 properties were damaged or destroyed. The bushfires caused telecommunications outage, road closures and rail connective disruptions. Over 90% of the Hunter Valley's 2020 wine vintage was lost due to smoke taint, and the fires took its toll on the health and well-being of the wine industry workers and wider community. Thankfully, post-bushfires and post-pandemic, the industry is back on track. Business is booming and local producers are experimenting with emerging and re-emerging varieties of grape like Pinot Gris, Pinot Grigio, Fiano, Gewürztraminer, Cabernet Franc, Barbera and Sangiovese. I'd like to thank both Cessnock City Council and Singleton Council for the work they've done with the Hunter Valley Wine and Tourism Association to put together the Hunter Valley Destination Management Plan, a plan which helps us write the next chapter of the story in the Hunter wine industry. The plan presents a vision for the future development of the Hunter, which will attract more tourists for a wide variety of activities, pairing wine, music events, for example. Vineyards in the Hunter have hosted some of the biggest names in world entertainment, from Elton John, Whitney Houston, Cold Chisel, Andre Bocelli and one of my favourite bands, The Killers. These names and so many more come to the region to host massive concerts, which also attract tens of thousands of tourists and fans. These events are huge for our region and are yet another example of what makes our famous wine industry so good in the Hunter. Without the wine industry and the enormous reputation it has for itself, events like this would never happen. Deputy Speaker, the Hunter Valley wine country is heaven on earth. There is nothing better than driving through our beautiful landscape with endless views of grapes running into the horizon, topped off with the highest quality and best tasting wine in the world. I love escaping to these amazing wineries whenever I get a chance. I love taking my wife whenever I can, and I'm also bringing visitors to the Hunter, like the French Ambassador, His Excellency Jean-Pierre Thibault. If you haven't visited the Hunter, please make sure you do, because you're missing out. Get yourself to one of our multiple wineries and cellar doors, feast on a tasty food and enjoy yourself in our area. Deputy Speaker, almost 4,000 people employed, 200 years of history, 2,376,000 acres of vineyards producing over 6,000 tonnes of grapes, millions of tourists each year, 230 litres of wine exported and $641 million of economic value. The wine industry has well and truly helped put the Hunter on the map, and it still continues to do that today. A massive shout out to Jenny Curran and Stu Horden from the Hunter Valley Wine and Tourism Association for all their great work they do. And massive thank you to all the amazing people involved in the wine industry and to make the Hunter what it is today. Thank you.